So the one question that I really think about when I'm talking about limiting beliefs, like why do we want to limit ourselves so much, and why do we stick to our ideas? If you point out, you tell somebody that, hey, that's a limiting belief, the automatic response is like, well, this is just who I am. And people take their personality for granted when there is so much more potential, unlimited potential. Everybody has that. Everybody can tap into it. And people are not aware that they can be more. They would think that when you tell them that they have to change, I think the scary word is change. And instead of taking it as a change, is to grow. I would say that when somebody points out a negative belief, thank them, because if you're not aware, you are limiting yourself in certain areas of your life, or maybe even many areas of your life. And that person is just trying to help you to grow, help you to achieve your best version of yourself. And even when you say that you could be better, people take it as an offensive thing, because like, what do you mean? I'm already good. When first they struggle with I am not good enough, but when you tell them that there's something that they could improve on, and I'm really careful using that word, because I'm not trying to suggest that something is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you, just not aware of your own limitations, the limitations that you put on yourself. And once you raise those limitations, sky is the limit. Like really, you can do anything you put your mind to. I know you heard that before, and you see the little inspirational signs, but it's true. The only reason why you're not where you want to be is because of how you think. And if you can overcome that's the ego that is telling you that, hey, don't tell me this, like I don't need this negative comments, this critique. They think that somebody is critiquing you, that somebody is hurting, they want to hurt you, like you're failing. That's not the case. If now I'm so eager to find out what's wrong with me, if that's the right way to say that, like what are my limiting beliefs, because I want to erase the limitations. I want to reach my full potential. And I know I'm capable of doing much more than what I'm doing right now, but I already recognized it. And every time there is a new negative belief that I recognize in my head, I think about it, I thank it, because anytime you limit yourself, it's there, that part is doing something. It's probably protecting you from doing something else. You had an experience that you failed, it was a negative experience, and moving forward, you think that every time you fail, it's going to be a negative experience. So you don't try. You don't raise the level. When I learned that failing is actually part of succeeding. If you don't fail, you never learn anything new. If you fail, you learn some new experience. You learn a way not to do things. And you get closer and closer and closer to your goals, to the success that you envision for yourself. So failure is not a problem. I know you heard that failure is not an option. You will fail. Everybody is failing at things sometimes, and it's okay. It's part of life. We are not perfect. We are not all-knowing, even though sometimes we think that we are, but we're not. And failing, it's okay. One of the biggest fears of people is the fear of failing. And that's why they don't try. So I would say just don't limit yourself. Be open to learn about what you're thinking about. Because many times we are not aware. It's so hidden in our subconscious mind that we're not even aware of our reactions. And once you recognize it and you can see yourself from the outside, like observe yourself. How did you react in a certain situation? Were you triggered? Why were you triggered? What triggered you? And then when you can overcome those limitations, things will not trigger you anymore. You can learn to overcome them and just to be calm and steady and peaceful. Like, we can eliminate stress by learning not to limit ourselves. Because when we are limiting ourselves and we're reacting in situations, in stressful situations, we react in a way that causes stress, which we cannot avoid. Stress is all around us, but it's our reaction to it is how we're going to overcome it. And if you catastrophize about it, like even if nothing happened yet, but you think about, oh my God, I have this thing coming up and I don't think I can do it. I'm not smart enough. I'm not talented enough. All day I'm not enough. It's going on in your head. You think of the worst case scenario, which is called worry. And you attract that. But how many times you thought of the worst case scenario? Because that's like an automatic thing in your head, like, oh my goodness, like this is difficult for me. I don't know how to do this. I cannot deal with this. I don't know how to cope with this. And you make up all these negative scenarios in your head and you stress yourself out about it. And how many of those things actually really happened? So instead of catastrophizing, what about thinking about what's the best can happen? What is really the best thing that can come out of this? Because it's really how you approach something. If you go into an interview, for example, and you know that you are the right person for the job, and you go there and you show your confidence, and you play it in your head before you get there. You visualize it in your head, like, hey, I'm going to walk in there. I'm confident. My walking is very sturdy. I stand there, my shoulders down, straight, strong. I speak calmly, confidently. You see yourself in your head. And then when you walk in there, they will see the same thing. But if you are already catastrophizing, like, I don't have enough experience. Maybe they put in the requirements that you have to have X, Y, Z years of experience, and I don't have that. But guess what? If you walk in there confidently, and they know they can see that you trust yourself, they will trust you with the job. You may get the job versus the person who has the exact experience. But all of us have this negative self-talk going on. And the difference between you and that person who walks into that interview is that you walk in there confidently. You will get this. You will get the job. All the other people, very likely that 90% of them will doubt themselves, just like how you doubt in yourself. So if you are walking in a place with confidence that I've got this, I am the right person for this. It's just an example, an interview. It can be any kind of situation. It can be a date. Then the other person, the other side will see the same thing that you exude. So I hope this little video gave you a little insight into limiting beliefs. Let me know what your questions about limiting beliefs. If it's something new that you have not thought about before, and you have questions about it, I'm here to answer your questions. I'll see you in the next one.